Good day. Welcome to Endurance Room. Hope you're doing well. So I picked up some steel a little while back with the intent of making some knives, and I just worked on this one a bit, and I got it pretty well shaped up, you know, kind of a kephart style, and drilled some holes in it to lighten up the handle and kind of give it some balance. It's 1/8 inch steel, about 9 inches long. So right now I'm at the point where I need to do the heat treat before I put the handle on and finish up the blade. So I needed to make a forge. I want to show you guys what I put together. I've got 4 cement blocks here and a little metal grate to give me some airflow. There's a metal pipe there, and I'm going to use that to pump in some air with a hair dryer. The grate is just propped up on a couple of rocks, and that is about as basic as it gets. It took 5 minutes to visualize and put this together. We've got some wood. There's some shavings there to help get it started. We've got a paint bucket to do the quench. And in that pink box, got a good old hair dryer. That's going to give me my fuel for the fire. And because we're off grid and don't have, you know, an outlet to plug in, I've got my good old EcoFlow back here. It's got a battery pack generator. Pretty sweet. I'm going to use that to power the hair dryer and do my temper. Hair dryer's using a little too much power for the EcoFlow, but we got a backup plan. This is from Harbor Freight, this little Predator generator. We got it for about 400 bucks, and it's been rock solid. We paid a little extra, and it's got like a 2, maybe a 4-year warranty. No questions asked. Anything happens, just drain the fuel and the oil out of it, and they'll swap you out a new one. It's been pretty solid so far, and it runs everything we need to run. So let's fire this bad boy up. Back away a little bit, let that do its thing. So I made a forge about 2 years ago. It was like basically just a wooden box out of some 2x6s. You know, I screwed them together, and then I used plaster of Paris and sand to kind of line the inside of it. I ran a metal pipe into it, just kind of like you're seeing here with a hair dryer. That worked pretty well. The plaster of Paris in the sand helps retain the heat on the inside, and you just fire the air in and you can heat metal up. So it's not hard. It just takes a little bit of trial and error and experimenting. I'm by far no expert at this, but if you want to get to making some stuff for yourself, it doesn't take a lot. I'm gonna give it the test.
think that'll do.
Speaking of do-it-yourself, this was a raised garden bed that we put in. It's got spinach and kale in it. It did pretty well. We've just been picking leaves off as we needed greens. I'm gonna build a bunch more for next year, but we wanted to see how it went. We did some potatoes and tried some corn, squash, and beans. They didn't really take off. The soil is really sandy up here and definitely is gonna need some work. We got a compost pile started here with some of the chicken manure and the straw, coffee grounds, food scraps. So we're gonna build that up and hopefully improve our soil, get some more stuff going. So this is the jig that I used to grind this down. All it is a couple pieces of plywood. I measured out some holes, drilled them in. There's a bolt right here at the back. And what you do is clamp your knife down here with a couple of clamps. And then this eye bolt on the end, you use that to run your file and maintain a consistent angle across. It takes a little elbow grease, but you know, honestly, it's really not that bad. You could do a full flat grind on a knife like this in about 40 minutes or so. And then to do the other side, you just flip it over, clamp it down, and work the other side. So you could do, say, a saber grind and then adjust your angle by raising that up and then do your edge here, and you'll have a nice, clean, consistent grind. This was just put together with some scrap wood and, you know, a couple bucks for the eye bolt, and, you know, the bolt here is nothing. The file, all that is, you know, a couple of hose clamps, you know, a metal file, and just like a 3/8 rod. So I use this, and then I have a 1x30 grinder from Harbor Freight as well that I'm looking to get an angle guide so I can keep a consistent angle with the 1x30, and then I'll probably move to that because honestly, this is a lot of work, but you know, if you're not doing this a lot, you know, maybe this is good enough and you can actually get really professional results, really clean, nice bevels with just a simple jig like this. I'll show you how this goes. I'm gonna get this cleaned up and get some scales on it, get a handle pinned on and glued down and get it sharpened up. See what we did. All right, everybody, I hope you're good. We'll catch you soon. Cheers.